Hey friends, did you know that we are surrounded by chemical reactions in our everyday life? Let's find out and observe some of them. Welcome to the world of chemicals. Tighten up your seatbelt, get popcorns. Oh, sorry, I'm in pen and paper. And let's get started. In this chapter, we will be covering what is a chemical reaction, factors that determine a chemical reaction, what is a chemical equation, need of chemical equation. Balanced equation. When we talk about chemical reaction, we observe that the transformation of chemical substance into another new substance with new properties and identities. Just like our mother makes a yummy soup, she uses various ingredients, combine them to make delicious soup, or let's say digestion of that same soup in our belly, or the setting of curd with the milk being initial substance. But what are the factors that determine a chemical reaction? Change of state. First is change of state. Let's say liquid milk turns into a semi-solid or more viscous substance when it turns into curd. That is, liquid turns into semi-solid state. Another factor is change in color. For example, we have had tea. The white milk changes to a brown liquid when tea is added. Moving ahead to evolution of gas. When any metal is dipped in acid, the hydrogen gas is evolved. And the last is change in temperature. Let us once again bring the delicious soup in mind. We like to have hot and sour soup, in which the temperature of ingredients are different. And yes, that soup was really yummy. Let's now write down the chemical reaction. But wait, how do we write down a chemical reaction? Here chemical equations comes to the rescue, because it is the symbolic representation of chemical reaction with reactants on left and products on right, which is separated by an arrow. Just like for making soup, reactants are ingredients and the final product is a delicious and yummy soup. Did you know your mother is a scientist? Let's ask a question. It is sometimes very time consuming to write the proper recipe of the soup. So just like that, only the description of a chemical reactions becomes very long and time consuming. So here the chemical equations comes to the rescue to solve the issue. For example, magnesium metal when reacted with oxygen gas forms magnesium oxide, where Mg and O2 are reactants, that is magnesium and oxygen are reactants and magnesium oxide is a product. You must have observed it took little time to speak. But what if we write down simply Mg plus O2 forms MgO? But while performing things, we should also keep in mind that the equation must be balanced. That is, spice, salt, oil must be in proper proportion to make soup delicious. So the balancing of chemical equation is necessary to get desired product. The unbalanced equation is also called skeletal equation. To balance an equation, there should be equal atoms each side. That is, the number of atoms remains the same before and after the reaction. For example, if we add 3 tablespoons of salt to make soup, we will get the taste of 3 tablespoons of salt only, then soup is made. Talking in terms of chemistry, Zn, that is zinc plus sulfuric acid, gives us zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. In tabular form, make columns of elements, atoms in left hand side and atoms in the right hand side. Zinc being an element, atoms of zinc in left hand side is 1 and on the right hand side is also 1. Atoms of hydrogen in left hand side and right hand side are 2. Oxygen is 4 to both the sides and sulfur is 1 to both the sides. This is how we balance the chemical equation. Now after knowing the basic things, let us move forward. In the next part, we will be covering how to balance a chemical equation, types of chemical reaction which includes an activity, and last, effects of oxidation reaction in everyday life.